honor Charlie Kirk and his life and legacy that was ruthlessly taken away from us. We want justice, and President Trump wants justice as well. And he is finally calling out publicly his top person, Attorney General Pam Bondi, over being so slow to prosecute people. The left-wing media, the people that were part of causing this tragedy, lies that fueled what happened to Charlie Kirk, and Trump wants justice now. Everything that Charlie Kirk stood for was America first, supporting Trump, supporting Christian values, supporting MAGA. And what did the left do? They continued to lie. They said he was a racist, a fascist, all this stuff. And it was fueled by congressional leaders. It was fueled by left-wing media. And President Trump has had it. President Trump has just called out publicly Pam Bondi over her slow action on prosecuting Adam Schiff, James Comey, Letitia James, and others, left-wing media outlets, for the lies that they've spewed over the past decade about Trump, and ultimately what is called so much chaos because they had all this propaganda and nothing happened to them. President Trump calls on Pam Bondi's DOJ to expedite justice and hold these people accountable. Things are so serious right now. Trump is fed up with this. Listen to this, because I can't even believe this is happening. Trump's administration has just launched a new app called Protect USA that allows users to immediately report messages of what it means to be a cohesive group of Patriot. That allows users to immediately report those who praised or celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So across the board, new apps created, something needs to be done, too much slow action, and now Trump has publicly called out Attorney General Pam Bondi. Right now, Charlie Kirk's memorial now has more people in attendance than MLK or JFK's funeral. Armed SWAT are inside the State Farm Stadium for Charlie Kirk's memorial. Security is at max level. DHS has classified it as a SEER Level 1 event, the highest security rating reserved for nationally significant gatherings. This is something that our greatest strength right now on the right can be unity, uniting together around a powerful message of putting America first, upholding Christian values, and making sure that we continue to root out the evil and the corruption. To this day, there are still people. Charlie Kirk hasn't even been buried yet, but there's congressional leaders that are calling out Charlie Kirk and still calling him a fascist, a racist, and those people need to be held accountable. Megyn Kelly, this is big news, guys. Megyn Kelly has confirmed that the FBI is investigating at least 7 possible co-conspirators in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Their social media footprints reveal that several of them are transgender and are connected to Tyler and his partner. And we have to go back to, where did this all start? Who got paid? How did they ultimately get this done? And it all starts with follow the money. There was Antifa drawings on the casings. What you're about to hear next, guys, we're digging deep into how this all came to be. And just want to say, appreciate you so much, everybody that is watching. We can't thank you enough for all your support. We truly are grateful to everybody who's watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family here at TrueLife News. We're going to continue the mantle, America first, bringing the facts, bringing the receipts, carrying Charlie Kirk's mantle. And we want you to partner with us as we continue to do that. I want to give much love to our members of the channel, those that support our monthly giving. Tomorrow, we are going to be giving in our live stream to a local charity, a local children's home. And when you're a member, you give a super chat. That's where these donations go. Whatever we get, we partner with you and we support these local charities, bring good into this world and making a difference. And I want to give some special love to Lori Rapier. Yesterday, I want to give some love to our boy, Mr. Tracy J. Norby, for his continued support of our channel and growing our family. And if you appreciate all this, guys, if you don't mind doing us a huge favor, helping us to grow our voice, of hitting that thumbs up like button, it really does help out so much. We are a growing voice. We are now 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're growing our other platforms, and we want to bring the truth. We want to make sure that we bring the facts and the receipts and to continue serving you all with the breaking news every day. And let me know your thoughts on all this, because this is big, y'all. This is the first time that Trump is publicly calling out his top attorney general. We're digging in. We now know from Megyn Kelly the FBI is investigating 7 possible co-conspirators. We're looking into where the money was coming from, Antifa, and all this stuff that's happened. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this is getting deep. Check this out.
Who makes up Antifa? And even more important, it's actually...
This is what I'm telling y'all, everybody. We are literally getting so much breaking news. Megyn Kelly has confirmed that the FBI is investigating at least 7 possible co-conspirators in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Their social media footprints reveal that several of them are transgender and are connected to Tyler and his partner. Not only that, this is where Trump has had enough, guys. I'm telling you, we've never seen Trump do and say what you're about to see on the screen. President Trump calls on the Department of Justice to get moving on the accountability of Adam Schiff, James Comey, Letitia James, and others. The people that made Trump out to be and look like the most evil person in the world, who fueled all this hatred across America. Trump wants them held accountable. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Look at this. He said, he literally says, Pam, I've reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that these essentially same old story as last time, all talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam, Shifty Schiff, Letitia? They're all guilty as heck, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put in a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia, a woke rhino who's never going to get the job done. That's why 2 of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard. No, I fired him, and there was a great case, and many layers and legal pundits say so. Lindsay is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice and indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. President DJT. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. Trump is at the point now where he is publicly calling out his own attorney general over what's going on. And he's publicly saying we have to do something because they're not going to stop. Everything that Trump has been fighting for, the MAGA. We even want to show you this. They're going to continue the hatred. Trump wants to catch all of them. I told you the Protect the USA launches a new app that allows users to immediately report those who praised or celebrated the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Guys, this is big, big stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. We are moving now into a new time that we have to have action. The people that are being called out right now, Charlie Kirk's memorial now has more people in attendance than MLK or JFK's funeral. This is a wake-up call to America. This is showing us that we have to go after everybody. I want to show you this before we move into the actual live stream of the Charlie Kirk memorial. But the podium at Charlie Kirk's funeral is enclosed in bulletproof glass, something you rarely see at an indoor event. We also have it where of course, Elon Musk is there, which is awesome. I love that. But they also have SWAT there. Armed SWAT inside the State Farm Stadium for the Charlie Kirk Memorial, security at max level. DHS has classified it as a SEER Level 1 event, the highest security rating reserved for national significant gatherings. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because I'm telling you, if we don't do something, we will never be able to hold these people accountable and have justice for Charlie Kirk. We're going to move into this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
I love the fact that Erika is going to take over, and we're going to grow the Turning Point to a very significant level. And I want us all to remember, you cannot be the land of the free if you're not the home of the brave. You got to stand up for what you believe in.
Whoop, sorry, y'all.
And in closing, I want to read a passage from John 12:24, remembering that Charlie was shot at 12:24 p.m. Verily, verily, I say unto you, this is Christ speaking, except a corn of wheat fall onto the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. And I want to thank Charlie for his sacrifice, because much fruit is going to be realized. Thank you.
And this is, again, too, guys, we're going to be coming in. Over 3 million people are watching this memorial service. When it comes to the chapters over his life and what has transpired thus since he passed away, there's literally, remember, there was only 3,100 chapters across colleges, across high schools. Now there is over 62,000. 62,000 is literally a 20x increase.
I just want to start out by saying there would be no Congresswoman Luna without Charlie Kirk. I still remember the phone call that changed my life. Hey, Anna, it's Charlie. I'd like to offer you a job as TPUSA's National Hispanic Outreach Director. Charlie believed with every fiber of his being that the youth of this nation would save it. His fierce patriotism, his unyielding boldness, his prophetic foresight, these were the sparks that lit the path for me on the eve of my departure to medical school to decide to change course and join TPUSA, where I could help Charlie battle the socialist indoctrination on college campuses.
Wow.
The year I spent at TPUSA traveling with Charlie is where I honed my voice in the crucible of politics and ultimately forged the path that led me to Congress. I saw Charlie grow from a young man with conferences of a few hundred people to one of the most powerful men in the world, walking alongside presidents and titans. I saw him grow a beautiful family, all the while remaining a humble leader who quietly raised up others to forward the movement. Today, we honor a patriot whose love of this nation burns as brightly as the founding fathers during the birth of our republic. Like George Washington, who sacrificed his peaceful life at Mount Vernon to lead a militia and a small army against the mightiest empire on earth, risking everything, his fortune, his family, his very life, to secure liberty for generations unborn, Charlie poured out his youth, his energy, and his unshakable resolve to awaken America's youth from the slumber of complacency and to mobilize millions this past election cycle to reclaim the principles of truth and self-governance that define our exceptional nation. His name will stand etched in the history besides the likes of JFK, who boldly challenged a generation to ask what they could do for their country amid the shadows of the Cold War. And Dr. King, who marched into the jaws of hatred, sacrificing his safety and ultimately his life to bend the arc of history towards justice. These giants, Washington forging a new nation from revolution, JFK inspiring the innovation and resolve, and MLK redeeming it through moral courage, changed the outcome of eras, just as Charlie altered the trajectory of our modern fight against cultural decay and ideological tyranny. He didn't just speak of patriotism, he lived it, giving everything to ignite a movement that turned the tide for conservatism, empowering young voices to challenge the status quo and to secure a brighter future for America. And as I stand here today, looking at thousands of young people in this crowd, I realize that Charlie's vision is ablaze in every single one of you, the generation that he entrusted to restore the soul of this nation. So I ask you, will you live boldly as Charlie did? Will you rise to the challenge as Charlie did? Will you speak truth without fear as Charlie did? And will you pray with unwavering faith as Charlie did? If one man can awaken a generation and save a nation, imagine what 10,000 can do. And we are all Charlie Kirk now, and his legacy has just begun. God bless all of you and these great United States of America. Thank you.
Guys, this is so big what's going on, and it's honestly like the more and more that we're digging into this and the more and more that's coming out, there is right now voter registration is underway at the Charlie Kirk Memorial inside State Farm Stadium. Thousands are stopping by at the registration tables. Like, again, the movement is so massive. One of the things I wanted to show you that, again, in his life, there was 3,100 chapters that existed at high schools and colleges, and now 62,000 plus chapter requests, and they're still coming in. This is so massive, so groundbreaking. I love it. Gregosaurus Galore, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. He said, Rosh Hashanah. I'm so bad at saying that. This week, Joel 2:31 is upon us. Joel, you will be live all day sometime this week. Let's go. God is going to move like we've never seen since Jesus. True Life News is the best. Let's go, brother. Y'all show Gregosaurus Galore some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much for your support. One of the people that is very close to Charlie Kirk, Jack Posobiec, is speaking. We're going to show him, but I'm telling you guys, this is such a powerful movement. What you're hearing, I want to show you again where even Steve Bannon is at on the unification of what's trying to happen, what's going to happen next. This is big, big stuff. Listen to this.
We'll unite after we're victorious, and we're going to unite on our terms. I don't care how much they hate hearing that. Charlie Kirk, two phrases we use here in the war room. Next man up, and in Turning Point situation, next man up turns out to be a young woman. Chairman and CEO of Turning Point, Erika Kirk, who was Charlie's partner, obviously, in everything. And then finish what we started, which is the title of that book that talked about the precinct strategy, talk about people coming together, the grassroots, of which Charlie and what he did at Turning Point, and particularly in Pennsylvania, right, which was absolutely critical, was one of the turning and inflection points of the 2024 election. Finish what we started. Finish Charlie Kirk's work with the Turning Point team. And so both Sunday will be a reflection on Charlie Kirk and how he got here. It'll also be, I think, a launching point for going forward. That's why symbolically it's so important. Everyone, if you can't be there, and if you can get there, you'll talk about this forever. Particularly folks that say, hey, I could have gone to Kennedy's funeral, but for some reason I didn't. Make sure you don't miss this, if you can be there in person. And if you can't, watch it right here in Real America's Voice. I commit to you and promise you, the coverage will be like anything else you'll see at any other networks. You're gonna
If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, I'm telling you, we're bringing some big stuff today, and I'm so happy because we're bringing action, and we want to see things change. Chrissy E, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Show Chrissy some love in the chat, member of the channel. We're so thankful for your support, Chrissy. We appreciate you so much. Show Chrissy some love in the chat, everybody.
The people that really knew Charlie, knew Turning Point, and knew really the pressures and the possibilities and the potential and the performance of Turning Point. So we're going to do all that, make sure it's done appropriately. Part of that is we do have the unfinished business of actually getting to the bottom of who assassinated Charlie Kirk. I have advocated from the beginning. Remember, we spent 3-4 days out in Utah. We flew out right when Charlie was shot, got there that evening and did the show there. You saw that for a couple of days. I have advocated both behind the scenes and on the show. And what I advocate on the show is what I advocate behind the scenes. So you hear it every day, is that we can't let local authorities just treat this as a murder case. No.
Nope.
No. It may turn out to be that. I don't think so. I think there's a vaster conspiracy in this of people that worked on it, that knew about it, that promoted it, maybe financed it. We have to get to the bottom of that. Two things have happened here that are monumental, things that we've talked about. Number one is, remember in 2020 during the Black Lives Matter riots, and when they burned these cities to the ground, right? They burned out these businessmen of the viciousness and the meanness and the violence that their side represents, something totally not American whatsoever, and our side is peaceful. Look at Colorado State last night.
I want to show you this, guys, because I'm telling you, we've got so many voices out there that are literally connected very deeply. Megyn Kelly has confirmed that FBI is investigating at least 7 possible co-conspirators in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Their social media footprints reveal that several of them are transgender and are connected to Tyler and his partner. So again, this lone wolf story, I don't believe it one bit. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I'm telling you, this is a deeper, I feel like this was 100% coordinated. There was people in the crowd that knew it was going to happen. This is 100% an attack on our republic, on our democracy, and we need to hold these people accountable at the highest level. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Look at around Turning Point, where the kids are bringing flowers and then memorials and little pictures of Charlie and votive lamps, prayer cards, all of that. That's the way we roll. But the way we roll also has to have a harder edge to it, not violence, but a harder edge. We're not going to back off this. Number one, they have designated these militias, and that's what they are, these murderous militias, things like, armed queers of Salt Lake City and others in this radical transgender movement. They have designated those nihilistic, violent extremists, NVEs, which gives you a whole special way to kind of investigate at the FBI and DOJ, leading to the signing of an executive order that designates Antifa as a major terrorist organization. And they're up there on TV. Well, they're just
told you
people
all
all over the map. Screw you. We're getting to the bottom, and not just the kids running around in front and the people shutting down Portland. We're going to get to the next layer of, and they had an Antifa person on, Jesse Waters. She says she's trained by the military. You have people in the military that are radical leftists, and those people are going to be turfed out of the military, court-martialed, and sent to Leavenworth. Okay? That's part of this whole terrorist investigation. And third, and most importantly, is the money. As Nick sort of said, you got the money, the organization, the NGOs. Megyn Kelly asked me, or somebody asked me today, it's another interview, that said, would that include things like the Rockefeller Fortune? I said, hey, the investigation is going to go where it's going to go. It's going to go where it's going to go. Whether it's sourced or whatever, you have to have the facts, but you need to do that. And I have said from the beginning, it feels like a vast conspiracy, but we need to show that. We cannot have another grassy knoll 2.0. This cannot turn out for this generation to be like the assassination for John F. Kennedy was for our generation, right? For the boomers out there. Can't be. We can't let that happen.
Right now, there are people even like Alex Jones that are coming out. And guys, y'all know some of these people get some of the most deepest intel. If you appreciate this, guys, show some love in the chat. Chrissy E, member for 6 months. Thank you so much for your support. Y'all don't forget to show Chrissy E some love in the chat, as well as Gregosaurus Galoris. New Charlie Kirk assassination news just broke. The FBI is actively covering up any evidence that Tyler Robinson had help, according to the White House and the DHS sources. They are officially pushing the lone gunman theory. All this points towards a deep state inside job. Guys, do you realize what these people are saying? It's not just him. It's not just Candace Owens who's coming out too and saying some stuff. But also, I want you to hear too, even what they said, what should happen to this guy. This is big, big stuff. And we're showing you stuff that you're not going to normally see on mainstream media, and it matters. Nadine Jones, member for 6 months. Let's go. Said, absolutely love your show, Joel. Will always do what I can to support you. We appreciate you so much, Nadine. Show Nadine some love in the chat. Because listen to this, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to get deeper and deeper. And when people start saying the deep state, Trump is calling out Pam Bondi and saying, why aren't you doing anything? We're catching up, guys. Listen to this.
That assassination did tear apart the fabric of the country. Did it do it in the streets where people were riding? No. But the Warren Commission and the gun deck nature of it, and the FBI's performance, and the CIA's performance, come on, man. That was the beginning of the questioning of the institutions of the United States, as it should have been, because they wouldn't put out the accurate information. President of the United States understands he tried to do this in 20, and Bill Barr and the Rhino Bush Republicans tamped it down. You ain't tamping it down no more. Let's go to the Oval Office just a few minutes ago and hear the President of the United States about this very topic.
What comes next after designating Antifa a terrorist organization?
We're going to designate too, but we're going to look at the people that funded Antifa, see who they are, where they came from, and why they did. Have you seen Portland at all? Have you taken a look what's happening in Portland? It's, I mean, this has been going on for years. It's just people out of control. They're crazy. We're going to stop that very soon. We have to get rid of a couple of other problems first. We're going to get rid of the problems in Memphis where you can't even walk a block without getting shot. We're going to get rid of the problems in Chicago. Chicago's a great city, and we have to save it. We have to save it. I told you I had the head of the Union Pacific Railroad in my office, and I said, so what do you think? You go to every city. You have railroads in you are the biggest railroad, beautiful railroad. He's a great guy. I said, what do you think? He said, sir.
Okay, he's also talking about he's going to go to Memphis. He's sending to Chicago. He's not backing off that at all. He's also talking about, as we've talked about, Portland, that 4, 5, 6 block area. Folks in Portland, even if you're Democrats and have voted for it, hey, we understand it's too much. The president's got to declare a martial law there, I think, and just in that section of town, and go in and roll them up. Roll them up. And he's right. We're going to get to the bottom of the organization and the financing of Antifa. And you're going to see the biggest, they're going to start belly aching. You know why? Because a bunch of them are involved in it.
Let me tell you this, guys. With what I'm about to show you next, it's going to blow your mind. And this is why Trump said what he said. If Pam Bondi does not start doing the indictments, if Pam Bondi doesn't start getting things moving, the left is going to continue to try to go after and smear the people that are trying to clean up America. Look at this. Just came out, guys. Tom Homan was investigated for accepting $50,000 from undercover FBI agents. Trump's DOJ shut it down. This is blowing up X right now, saying that in a FBI sting, they recorded Tom Homan accepting $50,000 in cash during a September 24 meeting where he discussed steering government contracts, according to reports from the MSNBC and the New York Times. Left-wing media outlets that, again, say whatever they want. Nobody's ever held accountable. Guys, we're bringing you this breaking news that's going on. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, let's get to 1,000 likes. Appreciate you so much. When you hit that like button, it grows our voice. It grows this channel. It grows our reach. And right now, with all the lies that are being perpetuated out, we have to grow our voice. Gator Presley, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, I have to believe President Trump was just giving Pam the okay to start the indictment procedures. At least I hope this will be the case. Y'all show Gator Presley some love in the chat. And don't forget to show Chrissy E some love in the chat, everybody. When Trump calls out somebody publicly, that means that, to me, behind closed doors, you're not getting things done. And I will put not just my pressure on you, I will put social pressure on you to do something. Because look at this. MSNBC and the New York Times are out here trying to push this news about Tom Homan, who is literally trying to clean up America. Now, you tell me, guys, where are we at right now with this? Because if we don't go after the people that are smearing, we're going to continue to have the right look terrible in the eyes of all Americans. Let me know your thoughts on the process. We got some more news for you right here.
Did anyone in the crowd or anywhere else assist in the assassination of Charlie Kirk? In other words, is there any evidence to suggest that the shooter might have had help?
As I said from the beginning, this is an extensive and exhaustive investigation, and I can only speak from the FBI's perspective that is still ongoing. We are still triaging voluminous amounts of data. We're still interrogating numerous witnesses, and we're going into devices such as cell phones and laptops and extracting data. And so that's the expertise of the FBI that we're bringing and working with our state and local partners. And as we get information that is of value, we turn it over immediately to the prosecutorial authorities for them to make their decision.
Okay, why hasn't Lance Twiggs, the boyfriend, been arrested? Don't the text messages prove that he knew that Tyler Robinson assassinated Charlie Kirk and then he did not turn him in?
Right there,
Why
y'all.
hasn't he been arrested?
Again, the charging decisions will be made by the prosecuting authorities in the state of Utah. And so we will leave those decisions to them. We are working 24/7 to provide all the evidence we can to them in a timely fashion. That's why we were on the scene almost immediately, and that's why we've been flying back and forth, not just personnel, but also DNA matters, and also these devices that you speak to. Thankfully, the FBI has regional centers scattered across the country, and we're able to exploit these devices, and that's why you have the text messages. And the text messages speak for themselves, but we're still going. We have more work to do.
Okay, and I know, Mr. Director, that you knew Charlie well, so this hits personally as well, happening just 8 days ago. Let's talk about the text messages. Does the FBI believe that they could have been, you know, like a pre-planned setup to hide any involvement that Lance might have had in planning this assassination?
You know, now that the state case has been brought and the charges have been alleged, you know, I have to withhold any sort of stylization of the evidence. And because there's more evidence coming in literally every single day as we interrogate witnesses who knew these individuals and who knew the suspect and the family members as well, we're getting more and more information. And those are critical pieces of information that we have to hold in the evidentiary chain of command so that prosecutors can use it at trial. The worst thing that we can have happen is if we mishandle evidence and then they cannot use it at trial. That would be an injustice to Charlie Kirk.
All right, we're showing video.
I'm telling you guys, this right here is just so big. Megyn Kelly has confirmed the FBI is investigating at least 7 possible co-conspirators in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We just showed you that Trump is fed up with Pam Bondi right now and is literally, when you call somebody out publicly, guys, just how Trump is done, this is next level. This is not playing around anymore. And right here, we have Trump calling out Pam over reviewing 30 statements and posts, saying that Trump and his administration are losing credibility because of what? Because we won't take action. We won't arrest people. We won't put people in jail. Shifty Schiff, Comey, others. We can't even put the dang partner of the person who was texting the guy that assassinated Charlie Kirk, allegedly. Like, where are we at? This is the stuff, guys. I'm telling you, we have to, like this is where Trump is getting fed up, and he didn't do this like he's doing it now he didn't do this in the first term like he's doing it now in his second term. This is big stuff. I want to move in really quick to our sponsor, guys, because I'm telling you, moving forward together, making sure that Americans are taken care of, making sure that we get all the help that we need, guys. Chapter is going to take care of you. We only partner with sponsors that I know and I vetted that are going to take care of our people, and this is free. If you're on Medicare, if you're about to be on Medicare, then call them up, 667-895-3015. They compare every plan. When I found out there was hundreds and hundreds of plans, and it was so difficult from my own mom, who told me that for my grandpa that it was so hard to try and figure out which plan was the best. Chapter has saved people on average $1,100 a year. And even one person on this channel already $1,400 a year. And that's a lot of money. And this is the thing that, again, as we continue to dial in the government, figure out what's been going on, I can promise you that there's people that have not taken care of our seniors. They've not taken care of, there's literally lawsuits out right now because people are getting kickbacks because they weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing for people that were trying to sign up for the right Medicare plan. We need help and we need to stick together. That's why I said it's free. Call Chapter up, guys. They're going to help you out. Again, comparing every Medicare plan, 667-895-3015. You know me, guys. If I recommend something, it's because I believe and I've seen that based on the evidence, it's the best thing for you if you're on Medicare, about to be on Medicare. Lots of stuff is happening and we got to stick together. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. And again, too, if you called them up, they've taken care of you. Let the rest of the people know on the chat, because we got to stick together. We got to help each other out. And again, going back to the news, listen to this.
Of the moment that Tyler Robinson jumped off that roof about 15 feet. He drops down to the grass below, Mr. Director. We do not see anything that looks like a gun in his pants. We don't see it. Where is the gun, according to the FBI, in this video? And I understand that this is just surveillance from quite a distance and it's grainy, but we don't see anything there.
Yeah. Well, as we know, and look, I walked the steps myself when I got to the crime scene at the university there in Mormon, Utah. And what happened was the shooter, as you saw, jumped off the rooftop, and then we retraced his steps to where he discarded the firearm in a wooded area next to the campus. And I walked that ravine, and he discarded the firearm in its entirety with the towel wrapped around it. And one of the critical pieces of information we were able to pull was DNA off the towel and also DNA off a screwdriver that was found on the rooftop where the shooter was positioned in a prone position to take the shot that he took to kill Charlie Kirk. And so we were able to quickly analyze that DNA and come back with a positive match for the suspect. That's the type of evidentiary value that the FBI brings and critical analysis that we bring. And the rest, in terms of putting the entirety of it together, we're still looking at a lot of video, piecing it together. There was 1,000 hours, maybe 800 hours of video that we're trying to look at in totality from all the different camera angles. So it's very hard to do. We're working with the university as fast as we can, but they have one system in place, and we're working with them, and they've been great partners.
Okay, let me ask you about that, and I want to get to the roof. I asked the mayor of Orem why the roof wasn't covered. Looked like Butler, Pennsylvania, all over again. But this time, the assassin was effective. Let me talk about the video. I know you can't make it all public, but there's one video in particular, Cash, a gentleman who was standing just behind Charlie Kirk with his cell phone, with a hat on, filming this the entire time. Why hasn't that video been made public?
Again, the collection of videos, and look, I was in the room where all of this backpacks, razor scooters, textbooks, cell phones, and things were seized from the people that were in and around Charlie when he was shot. And we're also going through that material and others to analyze them. And we can't do that instantaneously. We're doing it as fast as we can. Yeah. And as we've done during this entire investigation, if there's a single piece of evidence that points to anyone else's involvement in this tragic assassination, we're going to bring it to bear, and we're going to publicize it as soon as we can with our partners through the prosecutorial process.
Yeah, Mr. Director.
I want to show you this, guys, because, again, we're giving you updates over what's happening, the memorial. This right here, guys, is so telling. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, thank you so much for your support. When you hit the button, it really helps us to grow, helps us to get our voice out there. This is a picture of our president here at the memorial. He's sitting in a fold-up chair closer to the window so that he can see better. Because you see in the back, they have these really nice chairs. What this shows you is that it's not just about showing up. He actually wants to be able to see and be there involved. And this just touches my heart because, again, too, he doesn't have to do this. And right now, I'm so sick of people. I want to see arrest. I know you want to see arrest of people that have lied, people that have literally spread propaganda news. And just right here, President Trump has called out Pam Bondi herself on his post to say, get something done. We are losing our credibility. And I want to show you this too, because I'm telling you, with what happened in Congress, all this because of what just happened in Congress over cash, over Shifty Schiff, over all the stuff that the left is still trying to spew lies on us, guys. This is big. Get ready, because this, I'm telling you, we have to do something, and people have to be arrested that have literally used lawfare against people that have done nothing wrong. Listen to this.
The FBI failed to review the evidence at the time. After nearly a decade in the shadows, this information has now come to light thanks to Dr. Patel, or Director Patel. Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patel, during your confirmation hearing, you made several important commitments. For instance, you told Senator Coons there will be no politicization at the FBI. There'll be no retributive actions taken by any FBI should I be confirmed as FBI director. So let me ask you very specifically, did you ever take any action to terminate or discipline an FBI agent or employee in whole or in part as retribution for being part of an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th?
No.
You also committed, you assured Senator Blumenthal, all FBI employees will be protected against political retribution. So you're testifying today that you played no role in the firing of even a single FBI agent for political retribution.
None for political retribution.
And if any FBI agent said you did, they would be lying. Is that your testimony?
I'm only speaking to my actions. Everybody is allowed to make their allegations.
Oh, no, these are allegations against you.
And
so, Mr. Patel, if FBI, senior FBI agents or employees said that you were firing them for political retribution reasons because of the cases they were assigned, you're saying they would be lying. Is that
anyone that was terminated at the FBI was done so for failing to meet the standards, uphold their constitutional oath, and effectuate the mission.
Well, by meet the standards, are you talking about meet the standards of protecting the president under any circumstance?
No.
You also guaranteed Senator Blumenthal that every FBI employee will be held to the same, absolute same standard. No one will be terminated for case assignments. Are you testifying today that you never terminated anyone at the FBI in whole or in part because of a prior case assignment?
No one at the FBI is terminated for case assignments alone.
Well, I'm asking about you, Mr. Patel. Did you, in whole or in part, terminate anyone at the FBI because they worked on the Trump investigation or because they worked on January 6th?
No one at the FBI has been terminated for case assignments alone.
Okay, you're saying alone. Does that mean they were terminated in part because they were assigned to a January 6th case or assigned to the Mar-a-Lago case? You're being very precise here, Mr. Patel. You're saying alone. That means they were fired in part because they were assigned those cases. Is that your testimony?
Absolutely not. But if you want to keep putting words
in
my mouth,
then
go
let
ahead.
me ask you, let's strip away the word alone. Did you terminate or participate in any discipline of any FBI employee in whole or in part because of their work on an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th? Yes or no?
Any terminations at the FBI by employees.
No, I'm asking you a very specific question.
And I'm going to answer the question, but you don't like the answer because it's the truth.
And this is why, guys, I'm telling you, again, this is, Trump, to me, is at his wit's end right now. When he says, Pam, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story as last time, all talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam, Shifty Schiff, Letitia? He says we're losing our credibility. It's killing our reputation because we can sit there and watch Patel get literally grilled over nothing, and yet Pam Bondi them, no arrest, no action taken. Let me know your thoughts, guys, because I'm telling you this. Twisting words, that's what they're so good at right now. And right now, they're trying to destroy Tom Homan's legacy. Right now, we've seen that they said that I'm going to show you this in a moment, that the FBI, this is posted on MSNBC and on the New York Times, that Tom Homan was investigated for accepting a $50,000 bribe from undercover FBI agents, and Trump's DOJ shut it down. This is, I'm sick of it, guys. I'm sick of never seeing action when it comes to people that need to see it for justice.
I want an answer to my question. I don't want an answer to someone else's question. So let me just be precise, and I ask for a yes or no answer. Did you ever terminate or discipline an FBI employee in whole or in part because they had been assigned or worked on an investigation of Donald Trump or January 6th?
FBI
yes or no?
employees are only terminated
yes
if
or
they
no,
fail
Mr.
to
Patel?
uphold their oaths of
yes
office
or no?
and duty.
You're not
at the
answering my
FBI
question.
I don't have to
my
answer your question yes or no because you're setting up a trap so you can have a media
I'm
narrative.
not setting up a trap.
And I'm not giving it to you.
Unless it's true that you fired people.
People
in
have been
whole or in part
terminated at
because
the
they
FBI who failed to uphold
were
the
assigned
standards
to.
that the FBI requires them to uphold.
Did you tell anyone at the FBI that all FBI employees who they identified who had worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs? Did you tell that to someone at the FBI?
Say that I would remove people for case assignments?
That you would, that people that were identified as having worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs. Did you tell that to someone at the FBI?
People are not removed
But
for
just
case
answer my
assignments.
question. Just answer my question. Did you tell that to someone?
People are not removed for case
No,
assignments.
you're not answering my question.
And I would never
Mr. Patel,
tell anyone.
Did you tell someone at the FBI that FBI employees identified as having worked on cases against President Trump would be removed from their jobs? Yes or no? Did you tell someone that?
I would never tell anyone at the FBI that they're being removed for basically their case assignments.
Okay, so anyone who said that would be lying. Is that your testimony?
Anyone can say whatever they want.
No, I know, but you're saying they were a liar.
I'm telling you what I said.
Because this is in the complaint against you, Mr. Patel. So you're saying Mr. Driscoll and others are liars?
I'm not going to address the complaint in the ongoing
Okay, well then let me
litigation.
ask you, have you ever told anyone at the FBI that the FBI tried to put the president in jail and he hasn't forgotten it, and that your job depended on the removal of agents who worked on cases against the president?
No.
Did you ever tell anyone that?
No.
Okay. Did you ever tell anyone that you knew these summary firings you were undertaking were illegal, likely illegal, and that you would be sued and later deposed? Did you ever tell anyone that?
No firings at the FBI or terminations were done for anything other than justified
Did you ever
cause.
tell anyone that, Mr. Patel? Why don't you
No
answer my question?
terminations at the FBI were ever done in my tenure for anything other than failing
Did you ever
to
tell
uphold
anyone
their
that,
oath of
Mr. Patel? You willing to
office
answer
or
the
their-
question?
The FBI.
I guess you're
have
not willing to
answered
answer the
it.
question.
Guys, do you see this? Like, this is what we deal with Congress. My goodness. And it's again, too, it's always so much bureaucrats. It's always so much just hypocrisy. And I want to show you this, guys, because I'm telling you, people are fed up. Listen to this and let me know your thoughts. Want to say, too, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is big, big stuff, guys. This is literally where Erika Kirk's head is at, what needs to happen. Listen to this.
Erika did an interview with the New York Times saying, it came out this morning, saying for Erika Kirk, a husband's life cut short by the violence he seemed to foresee, saying, I'm a strong believer that this was God's plan, and it's so clear cut. It couldn't be more Charlie. I've had so many people ask, do you feel anger towards this man? Like, do you want to seek the death penalty? I'll be honest, I told our lawyer, I want the government to decide this. I do not want that man's blood on my ledger, because when I get to heaven and Jesus is like, eye for an eye, is that how we do it? And that keeps me from being in heaven, from being with Charlie.
I can't imagine having to have these thoughts, muster these words. Again, this is only 11 days after Charlie was taken from this planet prematurely. So to have these thoughts, to put together sentences like that, it's something as a wife myself, I can't even imagine having to do. Again, while you're trying to mourn, while you're trying to grieve, while you're trying to figure out the business side of things at Turning Point USA, having to think of things like this, it's just a tragic scenario.
But such second nature, her Christian values on display, evangelizing in the New York Times. What is the Christian message of forgiveness and love? We don't believe in eye for an eye, and so I'm touched, and I'm touched that you thought to come on your due date to be with us and celebrate your good friend.
Well, that
Guys, so much is going on, guys. And I want to show you this because we're going to show you, again, things that you normally don't see on the mainstream media, and it matters. It 100% matters, y'all. Right here, this is what we're getting insider news on what's going on from Megyn Kelly on the Charlie Kirk assassination, because getting justice is 100% as important as celebrating what his life. Listen to this.
The FBI, familiar with the investigation, reporting that the Bureau is looking into posts by at least 7 different accounts. Several of the accounts appear to belong to transgender individuals, and at least one of them followed the suspect in this case, Tyler Robinson's roommate. Okay, so followed the roommate, the boyfriend, with whom Robinson was reportedly in a romantic relationship. Minutes after Charlie Kirk was pronounced dead, the user posted on X, "We fit it." This person has since deleted the account. Another user, 5 days before the shooting, wrote, quote, "You guys, I have something big coming soon. Just be sure to check the news. You'll know it when you see it," along with an emoji giving a wink. "I have something big coming soon. Just be sure to check the news. You'll know it when you see it." 5 days before the assassination. Then on Wednesday, after the shooting, this same account writes, quote, "Well, that's that." And another chud bites the dust. Chud, apparently a slang derogatory term for right-wingers. This user has also deleted the account. The Free Beacon also reporting a TikTok account by an individual who appears to be transgender, writing, quote, "Charles James Kirk does not know what's coming tomorrow. This isn't a threat. It's a promise." So how did all these people know this? Did they just get lucky? They just stumbled upon, they just had a feeling something was going to happen to Charlie and they all wrote it and they have links to the trans community? Wow, that's quite a coincidence.
Ooh.
And there's new information regarding Tyler Robinson, the suspect, as well. As I mentioned above, he was in a romantic relationship with his roommate, who's a biological man pretending that he can become a female and in the process of that, quote, transition. This news was confirmed to Axios by 6 sources. And not just that, but as we reported in our own AM update this morning, Tyler Robinson himself appears to have a link to so-called furry culture and a website to this culture, which is linked to the trans community and which involves people dressing up like animals and getting some sort of sexual fetish out of it. By the way, that same so-called boyfriend who was trying to trans himself into female was constantly all over the internet in furry costumes. That's where the things stand this morning.
Guys, I'm telling you, like, this type of stuff that's coming out, you can't make this stuff up of what we're dealing with people, their mindsets. Right now, the left is, and you've got people on the Democratic side that are literally out to get people that are on the right. Governor Newsom literally signed a law, a bill, the first in the nation to make it illegal that ICE agents cannot wear masks. So while they're trying to do this, don't want to reveal their identities because they can then be targeted and doxxed and things like that, California signs a dang law that says, oh, guess what? When you're here trying to get people, we're going to make sure that people know who you are. Because it's not like that people don't commit violence against these ICE agents. Like, let me tell you this, guys. Like, what do you do? How do you negotiate with people like this? How do you work with people like this? Governor Newsom signed the Senate Bill 627 on Saturday, prohibiting most law enforcement officers, including federal immigration agents, from concealing their faces during operations and requiring them to display badges upon request. I'm telling you guys, this, like, it is next level what we are seeing. People are fed up with it. And especially too with what we're seeing from Congress and people that have said enough is enough. What Trump is saying, let me know your thoughts in the comments because I'm with it. You cannot negotiate or come to common ground with people that just want to see chaos and try to break the law and protecting people that aren't even supposed to be here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Listen to this.
Absolutely outrageous. I know you're urging the Department of Education to cut off federal funding to any schools or faculty that appear to be spewing hate like this and celebrating this assassination. Tell us more.
Well, right. I mean, we should not allow these educators who are celebrating the political assassination of Charlie Kirk and conservatives around the country. They should not be anywhere near our kids or teaching them. The same thing goes for healthcare professionals, doctors, anesthesiologists, nurses. I don't want these people making life or death healthcare decisions for myself, my family, or any of you that are watching you, Maria, this morning. And in fact, late last night, we got tipped off about an alleged employee at a South Carolina college saying that violence is the only answer and saying that I would be the next political assassination. These people need to be publicly shamed. They need to be shamed out of civil society, out of their jobs when they are around children or making healthcare decisions. Enough is enough. This is this is the mentality that got Charlie Kirk assassinated. It's why Donald Trump they attempted to kill him twice last year. It's why so many conservatives are getting death threats all day, all night right now, and we're done with it.
Yeah, but I want to know who is supporting this and funding this. I mean, you've got to follow the money. President Trump now wants to see racketeering charges against leftist groups who are agitators. Watch this.
I've asked Pam to look into that in terms of RICO, bringing RICO cases against it, criminal RICO, because they should be put in jail. What they're doing to this country is really subversive.
I mean, the president said he's going to look at the Soros network. I know you plan to file a resolution stripping Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar of her committee assignments following her disparaging comments about Charlie Kirk. So let me kick it off, this whole look at this with that. Who is funding this radicalization?
Well, I agree with President Donald Trump. The first person we should look at is George Soros. We know that he has sent a lot of money, millions of dollars, funding organizations that want chaos, division, and violence. I mean, when there were the Black Lives Matter riots, if you remember, Maria, there were pallets of bricks that were sent to small towns all across the country to destroy these cities and these towns. So somebody is paying for this, and we know it's coming out of the the left-wing party in the United States. We know that they are participating in this, but somebody is...
Pallets of bricks. You cannot make this stuff up. And I want to add to this. Remember, we showed you George Soros drops massive donation into Newsom's redistricting effort to counter Trump. You have people on the left that just want chaos. If you appreciate this news and what we're bringing you guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is big, big stuff. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat for all your support and helping us grow our voice. We want to show you the receipts. This is 100% happening. So whenever you hear about, oh, they said this or they said that, you know what? We bring the receipts.
Funding it, and I agree with Trump to start with Soros. And I am filing a privileged motion this morning to censure Ilhan Omar for alleging that Charlie Kirk is a terrorist in her content. And all but blaming him for his assassination, but also strip her of her committee assignments. I believe in the First Amendment. You have the right to say whatever you want, but that has consequences. And she should be admonished, and she should be reprimanded here in Congress. This is the sort of thing that is putting conservatives' lives in danger. I carry my 6-hour P365 now everywhere I go because of the danger and the threats that we're currently facing.
Yeah, I mean,
in the wake of Charlie Kirk's murder.
I mean, there's a whole group of Democrats who use the word fascist repeatedly during their campaigning, their political campaigning. And, you know, the suspect had the word fascist etched on his ammunition. So what does that tell you?
Well, you mean, look at Kamala Harris when she was running for president last year. She said live on air multiple times over that Donald Trump was a fascist. And this ideology, they've called us Nazis, they've called us Hitler, they've called us fascists, they've called us terrorists. This is why our lives are in danger. And how do you have unity with a group of people who want to murder you? And, you know, I talked to my pastor on Sunday. I'm struggling with this because these people need to be held accountable. They need to be fired from their jobs. They need to go to jail if they've committed a crime. And, you know, how do you handle that? And so that's the question we're all asking ourselves. And we want to be safe in our communities. But also, if you've done this guy right here, this sounds like he was organized. I know that Kash Patel said that they were talking to many people on Discord. It was definitely premeditated. But this ideology, and he comes from this community because his boyfriend, I guess, is transgender or transitioning. But they come from this community that is advocating for violence. And I've had so many threats. And in fact, at my first Turning Point USA event earlier this year, there was a transgender person who tried to pick up a potted plant, a fern, and throw it at me. But this is a community that just because I say as a rape survivor, as a rape victim, I don't want a biological man in the shower next to me or the bathroom, they want to kill me because of my beliefs as a woman and as a rape survivor. So we're not dealing with sane people here, and they need to be dealt with boldly, strongly. And I support everything Trump is saying and wanting to do. That's why I'm filing this censorship and this motion to strip Ilhan Omar of her committee assignments. That's why I'm working to root out the teachers and healthcare workers in South Carolina who celebrate murder. I don't want them around our kids. Hard ass.
I've never...
How crazy is it that in 2025, just saying that is literally combative to the left? Look at this right here, guys. This is big, big stuff. Biden FBI attempted to entrap key Trump officials ahead of the 2024 election. They did everything that they could to try to keep Trump from being president. Charlie Kirk was a huge part in winning the young people over, to making sure that Trump won with the young people. He had a huge swing from the 2016 election to the 2024 election, and they took his life for it because of his voice. And now we're learning again too that we have been fighting against lawfare like never, like this type of stuff, guys. I'm telling you, now that this stuff is coming out, the New York Times are reporting that just as FBI targeted key Trump officials in the 2016 election, like General Michael Flynn, they sought to do it again ahead of the 2024 election. In at least one case, they tried to entrap Tom Homan in a scheme to provide consulting services to border-related businesses seeking government contractors. The DOJ, recognizing the deep state's pattern of targeting the president's most effective leaders, shut down the bogus investigation. In response, the same deep state operatives illegally leaked cherry-picked and deceptive details about the investigation to the media. It is like, I'm telling you, Trump is fed up. He's literally called out Pam Bondi to her face. We're now seeing that, hey, guess what? We have to hold these people accountable. And there's people in Congress that are about to take the next steps. I support them. Let me know if you support them. Because if we don't, they're going to continue the lies, the propaganda to try to smear just literally putting America first. Listen to this.
And legacy of Charlie Kirk is one of the foremost experts on constitutional law. Texas Senator Ted Cruz. And last weekend, Senator Cruz took matters into his own hands and painted over vulgar graffiti about Charlie Kirk along a Houston highway. Senator, thank you so much for being here today.
Well, Maria, I'm glad to be here. I wish none of us had to be here. What happened on September 10th was horrifying. All of us watched on live television, on social media. We watched an assassination that broke hearts across America. I first met Charlie when he was 18 years old. Charlie was a good friend of mine. He was an extraordinary leader. When I met him, he was a kid who had just graduated from high school. He'd never gone to college, but he had a vision. He had a vision of what would become Turning Point USA. He had a vision of energizing young people to love liberty, to love the Constitution, to love free enterprise, to love America. And I got to say, at the time, it was right after Barack Obama had gotten reelected. It was a time where young people, it was hip and cool to be left, to be Democrat, to be socialist. That's where the young people were. But Charlie had a vision, and he started a movement, and it is extraordinary the number of lives he changed, and he changed them through substance, through boldness. He would go to college campuses. He would engage with all comers, and he would treat them with respect. He would treat them with dignity, but he would engage on substance. And I have to say, sitting here today, it doesn't feel real what happened to Charlie, and we are grieving. But at the same time, I'm going to predict today is going to be a celebration. It's going to be a celebration of a life incredibly well lived, because Charlie's legacy will echo on for generations to come. You know, his wife, Erika, who is extraordinary, whom Charlie adored, she stepped in now as the CEO of Turning Point USA. I'm confident she's going to do an extraordinary job and carry on the mission. And I actually think Charlie's mission, if anything, will be magnified by what happened. More and more people, I think more people have listened to him in the last week than maybe listened to him his entire life. And the gospel today, the gospel of Jesus Christ, will be spread today to a bigger audience than just about any event in our lifetime. That's powerful.
I mean, you look at what's happening here. Just getting to set was incredible. The number of people who are here and coming to honor Charlie. And you know, I really do think, and I said this last weekend, God wanted me to know Charlie better. In the last few months, I've been speaking to Charlie more. I went on his show. He came on my show. And I think his way of communicating and just ensuring that it doesn't get hostile and you're just having a talk and a conversation about the issues and a debate. God wanted me to know more about how Charlie did it. And I think, you know, he has been elevated to a historical figure. But Senator, I've got to tell you, just this week, you had more crazy talk from Democrats calling the Republicans fascists. And, you know, I mean, it's not stopping. When will it stop? What can you do as an elected official to take down the rhetoric, to be more like Charlie, so we all can come together in some way? It's ridiculous that your colleagues on the left won't stop.
Look, there is so much anger and hate. Unfortunately, today's Democrat Party defines itself by anger and hatred of Donald Trump. And I will tell you, after Charlie was murdered, the number of leftists, whether Democrat politicians or left-wing activists or teachers or professors who celebrated, it was grotesque, the celebrations and the glorifications. And I will tell you, this is a problem that is overwhelmingly on the left. We have seen over and over again acts of violence, politically motivated violence from the left, whether it is the murder of Charlie Kirk, the 2 attempted assassinations of President Donald Trump, the attempted assassination of Brett Kavanaugh, the Black Lives Matter and the Antifa riots all across this country, the congressional baseball game shooting where the shooter came to D.C. and said, I want to find a Republican congressman to murder. This is fundamentally wrong. And Maria, I know you've seen the same polling I have that have shown among those left of center, a majority think it is justifiable to engage in violence against Elon Musk or Donald Trump. That is frightening, that is wrong, and we should be unequivocal. Violence is always, always, always wrong. There are people on the left I disagree with, but no one should engage in acts of violence to them. And I'll tell you, just on Friday, I spoke at a memorial to Charlie in Houston. There was a Texas Youth Summit, and thousands of young people came out. And there were a lot of tears there. There was a lot of celebration. But my message to those young people was, if the other side is nasty, if they are hateful, do not respond in kind. Respond with love. Be like Charlie. That was my message. And I also said to the group, I said, you know what? Maybe there's another Charlie Kirk here. Maybe there's 2. Maybe there's 5.
Yes.
Maybe there's 10. Maybe there's 100. And it is my hope that Charlie, living his life the way he did, will inspire millions of others to do the same.
What do you think?
And again, too, we are seeing it in real life. 62,000 plus. Turning Point says chapter request. Before Charlie passed, there was only 3,100. Think about that. Only 3,100. Now there's 62,000. This is all, you know, it's heartbreaking what we're seeing. We need to get to the bottom of it. You can't come to common ground when it comes to people that want to see people dead or celebrate their murder. Guys, if you appreciate this news that we're bringing, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, it really does help out our channel so much in getting our voice out there. If you're watching and not subscribed, please consider joining our family, hitting the subscribe button, and letting us serve you every day with the top news. We are literally living in history right now. So much is going on, and if we don't do something about it, if we don't continue getting our voice out there, then the lies will continue to be smeared. But we have to have a bigger voice than them, just like we have to have it too big to rig. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to give some love to all those that are members of the channel, those that have given today. I want to give some special love to Gregosaurus Galoris, Chrissy E. Y'all show Chrissy E some love in the chat. Nadine Jones, Gator Presley, Pamela. Pamela, welcome to the family. Y'all show them some love in the chat. We thank you so much when you share our videos, like our videos. We're here to serve you. Like I said, so much is going on, and if we don't become the new change, then nothing will ever change. From the bottom of my heart and our families, we love you and appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.